Hello everyone, we are back for the second half of Gameweek 31's games. Apologies again for any issues with the video and stuff. We're trying again with a slightly different setup, audio only. I expect most of you are watching the games anyway, so hopefully our semi-expert analysis, or whatever you want to call it, will be good to listen to. I'll pass back to Gianni, who was hosting us
Hello,
before.
Everyone. Hey, when Andy says we've got a slightly different setup, what he means is he's taken the controls. Thankfully, that's what happens when you give the newbie the reins straight away.
It's for the best, Gianni. It's for the best.
So it's still the same team here. We've got myself on Newcastle Villa, Tobes is on Norwich Everton, Lee's on Wolves Bournemouth, lots going on there, and then Andy, you're on United 2, Sheffield United 0. So loads to talk about. We've got loads of questions that came in. We'll just get through a couple of them, and then it'll be on with the second half. We've had Andy, keen for your thoughts on this. Slaughter asks, Saiss and Alonso or Doherty and Aurier?
Sorry, what was that one again? Say that again.
Who would you go with, Saiss and Alonso as a pairing, or Doherty and Aurier?
Oh, probably Doherty and Aurier, I think. I think Saiss does offer some attacking return as well as like Doherty, but Doherty's way more exciting. Plus, the problem with Alonso is I think at any moment he could get dropped. Maybe. Obviously, we haven't seen the lineup for this week yet, so that would just worry me a little bit. And I just think Aurier just looks so. Like I tweeted out earlier, his stats weren't great, but if you watch the game, he was so attacking down that right hand side.
He was real yesterday. He was further forward than Kane for a lot of it. I know Kane's been traditionally a bit deeper. He was further forward than Son. He has got some points in him for the rest of the season. Aurier, I'm confident on that.
Yeah, same here. I think that's the combo I'd go for right now if I was picking again.
Yeah. Andy, I'll ask you this question then. So if you replaced Alonso for Azpilicueta, same question, would you go with Azpilicueta and Saiss instead?
No, I don't think so. I think Doherty's like. I think if I was repicking right now, Doherty's almost like number one pick almost. The thing is, like, again, people have watched the videos and stuff this week. It'll be a bit of repetition, but like Bolly's got like eight clean sheets in 14. Like he is kind of the difference maker. So to have that on top of attacking returns for Doherty with the fixtures they've got, I think he just looks great. My other problem is I'm not sure I really trust Chelsea that much defensively. I just feel like they've always they're always going to concede a goal. So yeah, I think that would worry me. I mean, Azpilicueta is one of those players that is probably like it's probably a bit harsh from an FPL point of view because he always does well and he does get some attacking returns. He's always kind of overlooked, and I do that too because he's just not a very exciting pick, is he? That's the problem. So I would probably still.
I love Azpi though. Azpi has got 5 assists this season. Only Trent and Robbo in defenders have got more.
Like, and Aurier.
Yeah. He's off
a few have got 5, yeah. I mean, I didn't mention the others that are on 5. There's 3 or 4 on 5 assists, I think. But yeah, he's a bit of a dark horse. He can play in any system as well. Whatever manager comes into Chelsea, Azpilicueta is the first name on the team sheet. He's got more minutes than anyone else this season. We've seen him at centre back. We've seen him at left back. We've seen him as a wing back. So if you're looking for a defender that's guaranteed minutes, Alonso's a risk. Reece James is a risk, but Azpi is nailed. But yeah, how many clean sheets they keep, I'm not quite
How long is he going to be nailed for, though? Because he's got to be knocking on 30, 31 now, right? He's probably a little bit over the hill. Has he got many more seasons left in him?
Do you know what? Azpilicueta will play till he's 40. Honestly, the bloke's never injured. He plays 90 every week and he's never injured. I mean, in terms of selection, he might lose out. You know, Reece James looks like he's going to be a really good right back. But, you know, if they're in the market for a left back, we probably won't see Azpilicueta shoehorned in there. But given the choice, he'll start Azpilicueta over Alonso at left back unless he really wants to see loads of attacking down that left. But against stronger opposition, Azpilicueta will always start games, I think, at least for another season. Club captain too.
Andy, you might not have seen it yet, but
I have seen it. I have
coming
seen it.
on for Sheffield United.
If he scores today, I will never hear the end of it. Honestly, I won't even look into Twitter if he scores. But yeah, McBurney and Sander Berg have come on. I don't know if it's Berg or Berger. I should really figure that out. Have come on for Norwood. Actually, interestingly, I don't know if there was a knock or something. Yeah, because obviously him and Lundstrom are usually the two that kind of one plays or the other one plays. But yeah, it's Norwood that's come off. And I think it was Mousse as well, who did have that kind of knock in the first half. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see if McBurney scores. I'm done. I'm out.
Sander Berge or Sander Berger, it just depends on the commentator. We still haven't had clarification from the club, or Yeah, I'm going with Burge, Sander Burge, but yeah, I'm really not sure on that one.
You pronounce it Lundstrom. That's how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
Lundstrom.
He's another one. It'd be typical for him to score tonight as well. We got. Sorry, go on.
Got a question from Anish saying, should we keep or sell Lundstrom? So yeah, I'll go to you on that, Lee.
Keep or sell Lundstrom. Well, listen, his minutes aren't guaranteed, right? But even in the weird world we're in of the Premier League right now, if you don't start a game, you can still come on and have an impact. And we saw that even before the break, that Lundstrom, even coming off the bench, can have an impact. So for me, I hate to sit on the fence, but he's one of those, I wouldn't buy him, but I also wouldn't sell him right now. If I had him in my team, I think I'd keep. And if I didn't have him, I don't think I'd be bringing him in. I mean, I've got a bit of a wider problem with Sheffield United defensively. I mean, tonight Henderson's missing out, clearly not through injury, but through the fact that his parent club is Manchester United. But the injury to O'Connell and the suspension for Egan is hitting them hard tonight. You can see that United are 2-0 up. They probably should have more. So I don't know if I'm really that keen to invest in Sheffield United from stopping a minute. Never mind just at Lundstrom.
Yeah, it's really tough fixtures there for Sheffield United too. Can't overlook that. At this point in the season, of course, form and fixtures and the debate will continue what's more important. But for me, I'm looking at both. But form is really difficult when we've not played for 100 days. It kind of goes out the window. We've only got one game week to go off. And, sometimes teams just turn up and then the form dips. So we kind of need a good set of 2-3 game weeks to really be able to read into form. And then, fixtures we can see. So yeah, it more than ever we'll be weighing up those two things.
Really positive start here, Gianni, at Molineux, by the way. 47 minutes gone, so only just kicked up a couple of minutes ago, but Traore has already got to the byline a couple of times. Again, not sure what's in the water at Molineux, but he, again, looks like he's got the bit between his teeth, has got to the byline a couple of times. Crosses haven't come to anything, but yeah, he's come out all guns blazing.
Come on, Traore. Tobes. FPL assets, Richarlison and DCL, it's the same old story. We keep coming to you asking about these Everton players, but there really is good ownership there.
I want to give you some good news, but unfortunately I can't. To be fair to Everton, they came flying out the block straight after half-time. Bernard released Richarlison down the left, who actually kind of had a bit of a half chance, ended up hitting the side netting. Apart from that, it's just the build-up play is okay from both. They're just both clearly lacking quality in that final third. That final ball just hasn't been good enough. Nice little, again, Everton on the attack now. Some nice little intricate play, but it's just breaking down on the edge of the 18-yard box. Not too inspiring, to be honest with you.
I'm really hoping we're going to see Norwich go, do you know what, we're down, we're going to go for it. We're going to go chicken or apple. We're going to have a go. Because they can play.
Chance it. Oh no, sorry, no good. Everton nearly had. Well, he was 1-on-1. Goalkeeper smothered it well.
Andy, Old Trafford.
Yeah, it's a bit of a slower start, I suppose, for Man United here. McBurney, I think, just had a header there. They've got a corner now. They've started a bit more brighter, although they haven't really caused us too many problems. But I'll just watch this corner now. It's going to come in. I can see McBurney now. He's looking ready to score. I know we're going to get that away easy. Yeah, I mean, if anyone's been better at the start of the second half, it's Sheffield United, but it's not really a lot in it so far, to be honest.
Not much going on at St James's either. Newcastle really didn't want half-time to come. They really had great momentum. Villa were on the back foot, but that half-time whistle went at the right time. I'm still thinking there's going to be a bit of a Newcastle onslaught in the second half. They have looked bright, in particular Richie and even Joe Linton. Yes, you heard that right. Joe Linton is having a good game. Mm-hmm. He's linking up really well with St Max. He's working hard. Looks like he's got a little bit of swagger, a little bit of confidence, because we haven't seen that from the £40 million man so far this season.
Just a quick note on a substitution at halftime. So Dan Gosling, I say halftime, on the 51st minute, sorry. Dan Gosling has come on for Philip Billings. So there's a very, very important update for the 0.1% of managers that own Dan Gosling.
Who's going to be the first 59th minute sub so far this game week then? I'm sure one of us will have a 59-minute.
Yeah, I forgot to add as well, Gylfi Sigurdsson came on at half-time for Tom Davies. Not probably going to interest too many FPL managers, that news. But Gylfi's on and looking quite up for it, to be fair.
Interesting that Gylfi's not starting matches, right? He's come on in the Spurs game and in the Liverpool game, and he's come on in this game as well. So he's not getting the starts, Gylfi.
It's a strange one that as well, because you'd think of what this game is lacking is somebody, in that number 10 spot to pull a few strings and to create something. Gylfi is exactly that sort of player. But yeah, so strange to not start with him. But obviously, Ancelotti's been keen to get him on ASAP and no messing around, half-time substitution.
It's a hard one for Sigurdsson, though, because Ancelotti will always go back to his favoured 4-4-2, and Sigurdsson is a player that doesn't really fit into a 4-4-2, does he? I mean, he's obviously come on for Davies. He's playing in the midfield now, but, he's better in a midfield 3 or as a number 10. He's not an out-and-out 8, is he? But I wonder if Tom Davies has got a knock, because coming off at half-time when he was so good in the Merseyside derby, Tom Davies, but...
Yeah, it didn't look like he picked up a knock, to be fair. Could be wrong. Yeah, it's a strange one with Gylfi. I mean, he was, for a couple of seasons, he was a really good asset, wasn't he, in FPL? He went through kind of a period as well where, he was kind of, first name on the team sheet, on free kicks, on corners, scored a lot of goals. Again, a bit like Neves. Neves never scored a goal inside the box type of player, isn't he?
I should just say as well, we're only...
Goal.
Oh, forget that.
Michael Keane with a Luca Digne assist by the looks of it.
Oh, nice.
Luca Digne.
Bit of a differential, Luca Digne.
Yeah, straight from a corner, left peg, whipped it in, and just good header. Michael Keane rose highest. Not the best marking in the world, but just nods it in, bottom left corner, keeper no chance.
About time they scored against that Norwich team. I was just going to say, we were only like a minute or two away from the Liverpool lineup, which would be interesting tonight. I've just seen a tweet from Anfield Edition, 100k followers. I don't know if you follow him, Lee. Despite rumours about Minamino starting, Salah, Firmino and Mane are all set to start tonight. So that happens. Suddenly, we're like 38 minutes away from the Man United game finishing. I'm suddenly worrying about my Bruno captain a little bit more, especially with Salah sat in my team. So yeah, we'll find out in a couple of minutes.
I'd certainly welcome that front three. I think Minamino actually had a reasonable first half in the first game against Everton, but I don't know, it just upsets the balance a little bit because he wants to naturally come in, and I think he was kind of getting in the spaces that Keita wanted to work in. So yeah, kind of not surprised to see him go to the bench, but I wouldn't be surprised also to see him come on at some stage during that game.
Guys, we will have that team news with you in 1 minute's time. Don't go anywhere. We've got the Liverpool team news ready and we're waiting for you. I've got the Twitter page up. I am refreshing every 30 seconds.
How are you going to feel if Salah's benched?
Oh, that's a good question. So me and a lot of FPL managers would be distraught, wouldn't we? I think him and Bruno are the two big picks of the game week. It's a shame Liverpool can't win the title tonight, because if they could, you'd bet on Salah to go, really go for it. Salah's a greedy player, isn't he? He wants to be the bloke that scores the goals when Liverpool win the league. With him being rested at the week, Lee, what are your thoughts on that? I mean, he's obviously got a knock, but in terms of the whole Salah versus Mane debate, from an FPL perspective, if you can have one and one only, who'd you go with?
It'll rumble on forever, this one, won't it? And it has done this season. I must admit, Mane has had a fantastic season. He's taken it to a whole new level this year. He went to another level last year. Some of the goals he scored, I mean, the one he scored against Bayern in Germany in the Champions League was such a great strike. And then even this season, he's gone to another level. So didn't see too much of him in the game at Goodison the other day. But like I say, he's got such a good relationship with Robertson on that side that without Robbo, I think he was kind of he's trying to adapt his game and he didn't really get into it. I think to answer your question, I think if I was going to plump for one of them, I think I probably would still stick with Mane, and that's not to do with anything to do with the Salah injury. And by the way, fully expect Salah to start tonight. I think I would go Mane.
It does. Breaking team news: Salah, Mane, Firmino, front three. It's the common three from last season in midfield: Fabinho, Henderson, and Wijnaldum. And that back four is Gomez in the centre with Van Dijk, Robertson at left back, and then we have no Trent, Toby. No, Trent is starting.
Don't do that to me.
Genuinely quite surprised that Keita's dropped to the bench. I was saying just before the show, I thought he looked really good against Everton in what was otherwise quite a tepid performance. But then I suppose, you got Wijnaldum and Henderson are that preferred or have been that preferred pairing throughout the season. So maybe not such a big surprise.
Andy, there's been a chance at Old Trafford with Greenwood on his left.
Yeah. I was going to say that, but obviously we were chatting about the lineups. The guy that I said I hadn't really seen if he was playing. He's a bit more prominent in this second half. It was kind of middle of the box territory, just inside the 18-yard box. I think it looked like it came off one of the defenders, but it didn't. I don't think we got a corner from it, so I'm not sure what happened there. But yeah, it just went very close to hitting the post, but not close enough to go in, unfortunately. It's been, to be honest, from what I'm kind of catching glimpses of, it's a much slower second half. I don't think Sheffield United think they're going to be winning anytime soon, and I think Man United probably think they've got it in the bag already. So it is a bit slower, I guess, as well. Tired legs or whatever. David De Gea nearly just gave the ball away to a Sheffield United player. I think it was Lundstrom actually, about 25 yards out, but he couldn't quite catch it. Didn't have the legs to get it himself. But yeah, it's a slow
sensible
start.
play, Andy, isn't it? To be fair, from Manchester
Yeah,
United.
exactly.
I mean, if they're 2-0 up, they're cruising. Frankly, I mean, they completely bossed that first half. All they've got to do is keep hold of the ball and see the game out. Given that, they've got plenty of games coming up. We're only just getting back. I think it's sensible play. Not that the owners of Bruno or Rashford or anybody else in FPL will want to hear that, but United would be pretty happy to see this out 2-0, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I mean, this last 10 minutes possession has just come up. Man United are at 75% as it stands, so it kind of tells you how this second half's going.
Jota down in the box. Ref's having none of it. He's walking away. I wonder whether VAR might have a look at that. Jota's certainly feeling it. Play continues because, of course, we're not going to look at VAR properly until the ball goes out of play, but Jota is down injured, and it's getting spicy again this game. I tell you, let's see whether VAR is going to have a look at this incident. Come back to me.
No, if they do, Lee, we'll be right back to you. At Newcastle, there's been loads of action as well. Almiron with a really good chance at 7 yards out, left peg, good save again. Guys, St. Maximin is really turning on now. The game's opened up. St. Maximin, oh, wow, just past the post. That nearly went top bins. He ran from the halfway line. Do you remember on Soccer AM when they used to do all aboard the showboat? St. Maximin would have about 4 times tonight. He takes on Mings, he goes past him, he shoots from the edge of the box. It looks like it's going top bins. It's narrowly wide, but he's got it all. He picks it up by the dugout on the halfway line, carries it all the way to the edge of the 18-yard box.
I think there's very few players that have come back from the break and look like they haven't had a break, and he is one. I think De Bruyne, Traore, although he didn't play too many minutes in the first game, have all looked pretty good, almost as if they haven't been in lockdown. But St. Maximin, I don't think he's necessarily suddenly a world beater, but I think he looked really good in that first game, and it sounds like he's doing it again now. And he's so cheap as well. So it's really not the worst punt to go for. So yeah, I like the look of him in that first game. Not obviously got to watch him tonight, but sounds like he's doing all right.
We've had a
no
message.
VAR check, Gianni. By the way, on that penalty, Jota's had a bit of magic spray. He's had a cuddle. He's fine. He seems to be okay. I've seen the replay. It's not a penalty. I mean, Ake's put his foot there. Jota's gone down like he's been shot, to be fair. So, right decision. Clattenburg, in the end, didn't even want to go to VAR. I wasn't having any of it. So, right decision. Play continues.
We've had a message from a Michael Healy, a Newcastle fan, saying St. Maximin is the new Alan Shearer. That'll be interesting.
Wow.
Wow.
That is a big call.
I don't know about
Really?
that.
5.4 million. I better get him in my team.
Was that Michael Healy, Gianni? Not the Michael Healy?
There's a different Michael Healy, I think.
I'm just looking at the Crystal Palace line. I know, like I often do this on like deadline streams. I always do the lineup of the big team, then forget there's another team playing. For some reason, Milivojevic isn't playing. They've gone for Sakho's playing centre back. Kouati, MacArthur Townsend is playing. So for some reason, maybe it's just like he needs a rest or something. But
you know what that means, Andy? If Milivojevic isn't playing,
who takes the penalty?
PVA on pens.
Oh, that would be unreal.
Toby, I know he's in your. No, he's not in your team. You just sold him.
No, he was in my pre-wildcard team last game week. It was a little punt of a decision, and actually, obviously, paid off nicely as he picked up an assist and a clean sheet. I do love PVA. I think it's the left-footed link. I was always a left-footed player. I just love a bloke with a rocket of a left foot.
I think Lee's behind. In the Wolves game. I see stuff happening.
Oh, go on, Lee.
I can see stuff happening, but I'm waiting to see. Wolves have got a free kick out on the left. Jota fouled. Here goes Traore down the wing. Beautiful cross. It is exactly the same goal that you saw the other night. It was Adama Traore, gets to the byline, whips one over. Jimenez stoops high and powers it home. What a goal. Textbook. How many times are we going to see this, Adama Traore to Jimenez? That's, I think, the 7th time they've combined for a goal so far this season. Absolutely sensational from Adama Traore, and Jimenez just gobbles it up. 1-0, there we go.
I was saying this on who'd they play? West Ham, the first game. Like, his crosses, they're not pumped in really quick or anything like that. They seem to like almost hang, but the defenders just cannot defend it. And it's like every time it's the same cross. The amount of kind of consistency Traore has these days is just unreal. It's just like almost unplayable.
The way that he gets into the position to play it as well, and is incredible, right? So he's out on the touchline. The defender, they're actually doubling up on him again. But one of the defenders starts to back off, and the other one kind of just lets him gives him that yard of space. He gets the ball out of his feet so quickly, and all he needs is a couple of yards. And like you say, he whips it in. It's sensational, and Jimenez just stoops for the header. So 1-0 to Wolves, and to be honest with you, they probably deserve that based on what's happened so far in this second half.
Straight over to Old Trafford, Andy.
Yeah, Martial's just shot over the bar. Pogba has looked so good again today. His footwork in and around the box just then was incredible. If this had gone in, it'd be another goal you would have been seeing for weeks. Takes it past 1, 2, 3 defenders, and then Martial kind of nicks it off him. To be fair, there was probably too many defenders in the way for Pogba to get past. But Martial just nicks it off of him and just kind of snatches it a bit straight over, like straight away head and hands. But yeah, the hat-trick getting closer and closer. Pogba looking so good.
Substitution at Molineux, by the way, Gianni. Giotta's just gone off, which is sad for me, but he seems to want to go off on 60 to 61 minutes every damn game. So he's the next transfer out for me in my FPL team. It's Neto that's come on, who scored an absolute belter, didn't he, last game week? So yeah, Jota off and Neto on for Wolves.
And back to Old Trafford. Andy, where is Pogba playing? Is he playing deeper than Bruno, or are they both playing sort of pivot 8s? Is Bruno more advanced? Is Pogba slightly deeper? Is he playing as a traditional sort of centre mid?
No, I'd say Fernandes is more like the 10, but Pogba is not playing deep. Like, there's just no need in this game, and I think we're going to see that more. This is basically what I was saying earlier. Before, when we played teams like this, defensive-minded, we've not had anyone to break them down. But for this kind of match, you've got Fernandes is up there causing problems, and Pogba's even pushing up a little bit more. So, yeah, I wouldn't say he's like a 6, maybe more like an 8, but Fernandes is definitely further forward. But to be honest, it's not really mattering at times. Like, Pogba is getting as far forward. But yeah, like when we win the ball back in defence and stuff, you can see Pogba's a little bit deeper. But on the attack, it's kind of all systems go. Like, and it's really good. This is what we've missed against these kind of teams. I would expect us. I'm trying to think of our fixtures. We don't really have a hard fixture left. So I think we might see this kind of lineup more and more as the season goes on. Obviously, 4th spot is still a genuine chance, albeit quite hard. Harry Maguire, for some reason, in the box there from open play, must have still been up for a free kick or a corner. Headers it over, though, unfortunately.
He's so due a goal, Harry Maguire. Action at St James's is that Joel Linton, who's worked really hard, has come off on 62. Andy Carroll has come on, and I know a lot of you have probably seen this from last week. If you haven't seen what Andy Carroll looks like in the last week, give it a little Google. Don't leave the stream, but maybe on your other device or another tab, check out the Andy Carroll beard. It is quite something.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Do you know what? This is the sort of game Andy Carroll I could really see having an impact. So it's been all Newcastle, and Joel Linton's done a good job and he's worked hard. But in terms of aerial ability, no one quite chucks himself at the ball like Andy Carroll. So Newcastle can get those balls into the box from a St Max, from a Ritchie. I wouldn't be surprised to see Newcastle pinch this 1-0. Toby, any action at Carrow Road?
Yeah, it's been a little bit. So there's actually just a VAR check for red card. Got Calvert-Lewin looking good here down the wing. Oh, no, he hasn't stood it up. Yeah, VAR check for red card, but it basically, he raked down the back of his Achilles, but it was on the follow-through after a shot, so nothing really wrong with it, nothing he could have done. Richarlison's been looking probably the livelier of the two out of him and DCL, I would say, but neither of them have really forged a clear-cut chance. Everton have edged this second half. They've kind of grown into the game. Yeah, I would have money on Everton getting another one. Certainly Norwich not looking very likely at all.
And Liam, Molineux, with the defence of Bournemouth doubling up on Traoré, with him being so involved, is that creating any space for Doherty? There's a lot of Doherty owners out there. Look, it's looking good for the clean sheet for him, but are we going to see some Doherty attacking returns, do you think?
Haven't seen him get too far forward so far, Gianni. No, to be honest with you. I think Wolves are letting their attackers do what they do best tonight. And actually, Neto, since he's come on, has looked very, very good. I like him. He's very direct. He likes the shot as well, and he likes to beat his man. So, yeah, not a lot of Doherty so far. Bournemouth just about to make a treble substitution, which includes Harry Wilson, Solanke, and somebody else. So more news on that in a second. But it sounds like Toby's got some action.
Yeah, really good cross by Iwobi. Got down the right wing, whipped in a really good cross. Calvert-Lewin, free header, 6 yards out, and he screws it wide.
Oh, DCL, come on. Need some points there.
I've got him too.
3 of us with DCL tonight, or 4 of us with DCL.
Yeah, I've got him. Yeah.
No, okay, we've all got DCL. We needed that, Toby. Did I hear right? Are you watching the right stream? Was that Iwobi with a good cross, you said?
Yeah, to be fair, Iwobi's actually had a pretty good game, I would say. I wouldn't say anyone's really stood out. Iwobi's looked dangerous. He's he's got the beating of the Norwich left back for sure tonight.
Oh, guys, news of St James's Park, not good for me, although at least he's off over 60. 66 minutes in, Matt Ritchie's got an ice pack on his hamstring. He doesn't...
Bad news.
He's effing and blinding. That doesn't look great. Dwight Gale's on.
Straight swap for Aurier, mate.
I mean, it's probably going to be a straight swap for Aurier, and at least he gets the clean sheet points tonight. But he was really looking good for attacking returns. You know, if that's a hamstring, I mean, I'm not an injury expert, but he's going to be out for a couple of weeks.
Where's Ben Dinnery when you need him?
Yeah, I know. We'll be on Twitter to Ben later. Yeah, doesn't look great. Let's wait and see. I mean, the good news is for Newcastle is now I think they've got another week to a Premier League game. I think they are involved in the FA Cup as well, so he might miss an FA Cup game, but maybe only one Premier League game, maybe two, if he's sort of out for a 3-week period. But we don't know yet, so we won't speculate further. But Ritchie is off. I'm
just looking at the bonus for Man United, because obviously you mentioned Aurier, straight swap for Matt Ritchie, maybe a Man United defender as well, same price.
Yeah.
Wan-Bissaka's, well, Martial's obviously bossing it. Wan-Bissaka's second. Then it's a Lindelof who's next, and Shaw who just picked up a yellow card. Maguire's miles back on 21. Next defenders are on 26. I think Maguire's probably losing that a bit because he's had those headers off target, which is probably causing him a little bit of worry.
Well, wasn't it? I've just seen the
yeah, he just couldn't bother to get back, so we just kicked him. That was such a lazy... Honestly, that's all it was. There was a substitution as well for Sheffield United. I got to try and remember. McGold just went off. Surprisingly, in this game, he didn't score, but there's always next one. And I think a guy called Zikovic came on, who I will not pretend that I've heard of before. So, yeah, there's no changes. I don't think there's been any change from Man United yet. 67 minutes in, 2-0 up. I'm surprised not to see anything in this game. Like, it's, again, Sheffield United not causing any problems. You think they'd want to rest? I guess there'll be a lot of changes in the FA Cup.
The super sub, Dwight Gale. Sorry to interrupt there,
I thought you were going to say Andy Carroll.
Dwight Gale's just come on. Dwight Gale's just come on for Matt Ritchie. I think Andy Carroll might have been involved because he's getting a lot of pats on the back. They're just celebrating now. I need to see the replay. I was too busy watching you guys. But yeah, Dwight Gale's been on the pitch for a matter of minutes. Okay, so it's a throw-in on the halfway line. Neat and tidy work there by, I think it is Andy Carroll. Yeah, he crosses the ball to Dwight Gale, who finds himself one-on-one, 8 yards out. Now, Dwight Gale, for those of you that have watched him, the one thing he is good at is finishing from sort of 8 to 12 yards out on a one-on-one. And he slots it past. But yeah, it was Andy Carroll with the hold-up play from the throw-in. Really simple goal. Halfway line throw-in. Andy Carroll, 2 touches off the chest. Finds Gale 8-10 yards out in the middle. Easy finish. I said a couple of minutes ago I could see Newcastle pinching this 1-0. And at 68 minutes in, it's Newcastle 1, Villa 0.
Very Carroll assist and a Dwight Gale goal. That is inspired substitutions from Steve Bruce. Absolutely beautiful stuff for the Newcastle
Comment on
fans.
YouTube from Simon Says, Mutton Chops assist. Love that.
I'm glad that Villa clean sheet's gone. It's too many points already from Nyland in goal for people that have him. So I'm glad it's gone. I'm just going to say.
Talking to super subs as well, Pookie has just entered the fray along with Buendia coming on for Closer and Rupp. So looks like he's given it a go, to be fair, which is odd, you know, to do it at this stage. Why not start with Pookie? Why not start with Buendia? I saw a stat the other day. Buendia's created, I think, the 4th most chances in the Premier League.
Yeah, he's right up there.
Yeah.
That's unreal.
I just seen a comment in one of the Slack channels I'm in that said Andy Carroll. You're gonna have to be a certain age to get this reference, but Andy Carroll looks like Jeff from Biker Grove, which I think is absolutely spot on.
It's a bit harsh, by the way. That.
Yeah, I'm sad. I know that, but yeah, for us that are sort of over 30, we'll know that. Remember Biker Grove, what made Ant and Dec famous?
CJ Duncan, I think you'll find.
Yeah, quite. We'll be going around the grounds for a bonus points update in the next couple of minutes, so stay with us and get your questions in as well. Lots of you are watching, lots of you are asking lots of questions, and we're very pleased to be bringing you the Scoutcast match day. We'll be here on Wednesdays when there's several games. We'll be here next season during those 3 p.m. kickoffs. But, you know, it's the perfect opportunity to watch the games. Maybe you've got a multi-screen set up, put the games on mute and listen to us. We're only chatting FPL for 2 solid hours.
Oh, here we go. A bit of spice back in this game. Sorry, Gianni, but this game is getting spicy. Adama Traore squaring up to, who is that? I can't see. Smith. Yeah, Smith and Traore have been at it all game. And to be honest, Adama Traore's got the better of Smith a number of times. And I think Smith has just had enough. Let's see what comes of this. But Adama Traore, no hands raised, so I don't think there's any risk of any red cards or anything like that. But definitely getting spicy down that wing. Adama Traore, after a quiet sort of 20 to 25 minutes where they double, he's absolutely sived him down, by the way. He's absolutely sived him down. He's gone straight through Adama Traore. That is the sort of tackle when you're at Sunday League, and trust me, I know, when you're knackered and you've got somebody up against you who's way quicker and you're just like, he's beat me on toast all day. I just want to get rid of him. Absolutely hacked him down.
So I just want to quickly say, again, I've completely missed it in the lineup for Crystal Palace. Milivojevic isn't playing. Neither's Guaita or Guitar, or however you want to pronounce his name, in goal. It's Wayne Hennessy in goal.
Wow.
So that's going to be a big miss because I think someone said it earlier, they have not conceded very many goals in their most recent games. So that is a big loss, I think. I mean, Wayne Hennessy, maybe not that bad, but I don't think he's up to Guaita's standards. So he's not even obviously you wouldn't expect him kind of rested or rotate. He's not in the squad at all, so I'm not quite sure what's happened there. But yeah, that's going to be a big miss. If you've got Liverpool captains right now, it's looking very good, especially with Bruno still not done anything. 71 minutes gone.
And any news back on Traore? There was no repercussions there for Smith. Was there a booking, Lee? I mean, who would you back in a fight there between Smith and Traore? Pretty balanced, wouldn't it? Not.
Yeah, of course I would back Traore. So no repercussions. It I don't want to say it's handbags because it wasn't. It was a horrible foul by Smith. He absolutely side him down, but no repercussions for Smith. Interestingly, so. Yeah, the game goes on. I wouldn't say that they've sort of shook hands and carried on, but that's not happened. In actual fact, Traore is now leaving the pitch. There's substitution. Traore off for Den Donker. 71 minutes gone. I think we did kind of say earlier on that, could Nuno Espirito Santo just try and protect him? He's a muscular guy. It'd be easy to pull a hamstring, etc. We might see a few managed minutes, and that is what we see. 72nd minute, and Traore is off after, a very, very good performance. Very good performance.
We'll go around the grounds. Tobes, I'll come to you in a couple of minutes for a bonus points update, and I'll do the same for both of you guys. I'll give an update first on the Newcastle Villa game. Of course, it's Newcastle 1, Aston Villa 0. In terms of bonus, the goal scorer Dwight Gale is currently on 3. Fernandez, the centre back, on 2, and then Manquillo is also on 1.
Oh, man alive!
Yeah, with Richie.
Guess what's happened at Old Trafford?
Don't tell me. Oh, no, don't tell me about. Oh, it's Martial hat-trick.
Over to Andy at Old Trafford.
Okay, I haven't seen it yet. I'm seeing it come through on Twitter and stuff. Martial hat-trick. Absolutely ridiculous. Rashford assist, so he's back in the points as well. I don't know how far behind I am. It's absolutely ridiculous. Here we go. This has got to be it now. Fernandez flick on. Here's Martial. He's going to play it to Rashford.
That is a beautiful finish.
Oh, he is so good. He is so good when he's on it. 3-0. So he basically just flicks it over the keeper. Just lifts it over like he's been doing it all season. Yeah,
Bruno assisting the assist again, though, Gianni, as you suggested.
Frustrating.
Yeah, the new David Silva, maybe. In terms of one-on-one in front of the keeper like that, that's a dink from Martial. There's not many more composed forwards, is there, on a one-on-one? Andy?
He is ice cool. Like, he is such a good finisher. Like, his biggest issues really are kind of the team we've had behind him recently, and also what you said earlier. He's hasn't had the best injury record. I think this season he had like 13 games in a row or something. That's his best ever at the club. That shows you how injury prone he is. But yeah, he's a brilliant finisher when you get him into the right place. We just haven't had anyone to do that recently, and I think this is kind of. I was kind of saying when we were in the break that I think a lot of people give me stick for being biased against Man United, but I think it also takes people a while to actually realise they are better now, and the player price points are just great. Like Martial's 8 million. He's the cheapest out of Rashford, Pogba, and Fernandez as well. So yeah, he's going to be a huge bandwagon with the fixtures we got now.
Toby, let's have a bonus points update from Carrow, who's currently on those 3, 2, and 1 bonus points. Of course, lots of change, but always good for an update.
Yeah, as you might expect, you've got Keane smashing it. He's well out in front. The goal scorer, of course, he's also one for a clean sheet. So he's looking at quite a nice points tally so far. Second is Dina, who got the assist for that goal again. Got his clean sheet, got his assist. Looking at a big score and a nice looking differential, perhaps. Everton with good fixtures the rest of the season, and it's Holgate actually with one as well. A lot of people have got Holgate. He's only 4.3 million. He's a good route into that Everton defence, who, as I say, have very good fixtures for the rest of the season.
He's on a lot of benches, Holgate. So if he gets a 7-point return, you'll be gutted. But I guess you know at 4.3 million. He's kind of often the fourth or fifth pick in that back line. Lee, let's have a look at the bonus points at Wolves Bournemouth. Of course, the score there is Wolves 1, Bournemouth 0. Let's have an update on bonus.
Yeah, interestingly, Bournemouth just starting to assert their authority a little bit, just starting to come forward a bit. So watch this space. I'll be back with you if Bournemouth show any more attacking intent. But from a bonus point perspective, of course, it's Jimenez up there with 32 BPS, so he's currently on the 3. Then it's kind of take your pick from the defenders, actually. But interestingly, not from Doherty yet. Bolly's in next with the 2 bonus points. He's on 27 BPS. Shouldn't be surprised at that, right? I think we saw even before the break when Bolly started coming back into the team, his pass completion rate, his clearance blocks and interceptions rate is pretty high. So not a surprise to see Bolly in there at 2. And then it's Connor Cody, actually, with 25 BPS, currently taking the 1. And then Gianni and Saiss on 24 BPS and 22, bringing up the rear. So no bonus points at the moment for Doherty. But let's see what happens the rest of the game. Still got 15, maybe 14 minutes to go in this game.
Yeah, shame Traore's not featured either. No, he would have had so many dribbles, but yeah, maybe misplay some crosses or shots too.
Did he get a yellow card in that little spat with Smith or not?
No yellow card for Troy. I can only imagine that it might be dispossessions. It might be that he lost possession because the thing that I've noticed about Troy in this game is he will bomb down that wing and he will either put in a cross that results in a goal or he'll lose possession. For a bit like in a way that kind of Salah works a little bit sometimes. I know as a Liverpool fan, I could often get frustrated when Salah goes on a little bit of an adventure and ends up in a little rabbit hole. But on the the 5th or 6th time out of 10 when he does that, it'll result in a goal. And that's kind of how I feel Traore's game has gone today.
I should say here, I think this is probably a first ever in Premier League. Man United are about to make a 5 substitute change.
Oh, I'm here for this.
Yeah, I think it's Mata, Igalo, Daniel James, McTominay, and someone else. I missed it now. They haven't brought them on yet. There's 77.5 minutes. I'm surprised it took this long. You got to assume like pretty much all the main men are going to go off. Martial's going to, well, I would say he's going to get his standing ovation, but it's going to be from about 4 people. So yeah, I'll come back to that in a sec when they actually come off, but they're all lined up, ready to go. So it's going to be a 5 sub change, which I think is the first time we've seen that. Oh, here we go. Who is it? It's Igalo, Mata, James, McTominay, and Pereira as well. Yeah, coming on.
Not good news for Richarlison owners as well. He's just come off for Moise Kean. So there's about 10 minutes left on the clock. Yeah, Richarlison blank, I'm afraid.
That is so typical because I didn't own him. I did.
Oh, effort from good save, Ramsdale. Couldn't see who. Sorry, Andy. Couldn't see who from a Wolves perspective got that in there, but it's a decent save. Got down quickly. Got down low there, Ramsdale. Decent save. Keeps Bournemouth in the game. That would have been game over. I'll let you know. Come back to me. I'll let you know who had that chance. But it was from a corner. Scrambled around in the box, and one of the Wolves guys had a shot on target. Ramsdale down low to save well.
Andy Carroll from 20 yards, half volley just over the bar. He looks really involved, Andy Carroll. And Newcastle have been really good. It's Newcastle 1, Villa 0. Villa are really struggling. They look like they've run out of ideas. If Grealish can't do it, if you've worked out how to play Grealish, then you stop him getting the ball. There's nothing else there.
I think it's no coincidence that he's the most fouled player in the league. Teams quickly clock that if you foul Grealish, you stop Grealish, you stop Villa, you just do.
Yeah.
The subs are just being made now. If I can keep track of who's got... So it's Pogba, Rashford, Martial, Greenwood, plus one more. It's going to be Bruno, isn't it? You'd imagine. I can't see who the 5th one is. So yeah, definitely Rashford, Greenwood. They look knackered, actually. Greenwood especially. Martial, Pogba. I don't know who the 5th one is. I'm waiting to find out.
Make it the front 5? If Bruno's included in that's the front 5 attacking players, right?
Pretty much. I don't know if Bruno is definitely, but it would make sense given the players that are coming on. I can't see who's gone off. It's not put up. Let me see. Yeah, it is Fernandes apparently. So yeah, pretty much the front 5 off. That's what I was saying. Like we've still got top 4 to try and get for. So we got to rest these players.
Jimenez. He's just. Sorry, Andy. Again, 2-on-2 there, Wolves, and Jimenez just passes it straight to Ake when he could have played Neto in. I think it was Neto on that side, or might even have been Doherty. But yeah, Wolves getting opportunities now on the break as Bournemouth start to push forward. Sorry, Andy, for interrupting you.
No,
we spoke about Jimenez, didn't we? He's got his 8 points. He's happy.
Yep.
He's
done.
Same every time, mate. Jimenez, good, honest work. He's an absolute 5, 6, 7 point merchant. I love it.
Andy, you were saying about Bruno, so he's gone off as part of that 5 sort of subs for United. So for FPL captaincy, loads went with Bruno, and he's finished on 3 points. He doesn't look like he's getting bonus either, does he? So he'll be on 3.
Definitely not bonus. Yeah, no, that's it. 3 points. A bit frustrating. I think the thing is, and I'm not saying from a real life perspective we are now Liverpool, but I think from an FPL perspective we could see points shared around more often now. If we're going to play that many of our good attackers every game, like next game, Martial could blank. It could be a Rashford hat trick. It could be Pogba double, Fernandes. I think you've probably got to just take it as it comes. I've got 2 attackers, so I'm kind of happy. Like I feel like I've got a bit of cover if we're going to score a few goals every game. But yeah, hugely frustrating. I mean, to be honest, I didn't really strongly, for myself anyway, didn't really strongly consider anyone else this week. I think the fact that Salah didn't play that first game kind of put me off a little bit. And as we just said about Jimenez, the fact that he kind of... I mean, to be fair, that we say that, like I said earlier, I always go on about steady versus explosive returns. If I'd captain Jimenez instead of Bruno today, be happy days right now. So, yeah, it's a tough one, but I think that's the first or second time he's blanked in 8 games or 7 games. So, yeah, there's still more to come from him, I'd say.
Toby, I'm going to ask you about United. Andy just mentioned the kind of double up front. I've seen some going with wildcard drafts this week that have gone for the triple up. Are we getting a little bit excited about Man United, knowing that Sheffield United have lost to Newcastle very convincingly, struggled against Aston Villa? Sheffield United could be on a bit of second season syndrome, I feel. Effectively, we're in season 2, right? I'm not sure that... I can't help but think United have still yet to have a big test. Wow, before I go there, Villa have just scored out of nowhere in the corner. It's Newcastle 1, Aston Villa 1. El Mohamdi, who's come on, has got a glancing header at the near post. I just couldn't see that happening. They've had absolutely none of the play, barely any shots, and they've just somehow got an equaliser at St James's Park. Seen the replay, corner, I think left foot, it could be Hurahan. Wow, really good front header from El Mohamdi. He drifts to the edge of the 6-yard box, and from the angle finds the back stick. You look at the defenders there, you look at Dubravka. Many FPL managers have got Dubravka or Lascelles, by the way, losing clean sheet points there. For those of you that have got Richie, remember he went off. Your clean sheet is safe. So Tobes, yeah, United, 2, 3 of them. Are we getting excited?
Possibly. I mean, I can see the excitement. I think Andy makes a good point. Like often with the United players, you're looking at the price point. Most of their big guns around the kind of 8 million mark, which is really good value. If you're looking at Liverpool assets, you're looking at Mane and Salah, you've got to spend 12.5 million on them. And, that's a big drop down to the 8 million bracket. I do think there's some value in what you said as well, Gianni. Like this is a different Sheffield United I think we're seeing tonight compared to what we've seen all season. They're missing Henderson, they're missing Egan, they're missing O'Connell. You take those 3 out, they're back 5, and they are a different kettle of fish. They've had such a good season as well, such a physical team. They're probably, on the downslope. They're probably pretty happy with their season. They're safe. They've not got too much left on it. I know they've got an outside chance of getting that top 4, top 5 spot. But yeah, no, I definitely can see the value in jumping on United players. I don't necessarily think that I will go with a triple up for United.
Missing out.
Yeah, quite possible. I've got to live to regret it. I mean, I like Bruno. I've got De Gea in goal, which that remains to be seen whether that's a good shout or not. It could be a case of switching out Son for someone like Martial. That could be a nice little straight swap. But then I do like the look of Son's fixtures, and yeah, so it's a really difficult. Well, apologies to sit on the fence there, but yeah, I can see it from both sides.
And it looks like they've come close again, United.
Kind of, yeah. Wan-Bissaka kind of whipped another ball across the box, which, if someone was a bit quicker, maybe a Martial or Rashford would have been on the end of that. So Wan-Bissaka's looked all good in this one. I think if you went him over Maguire, you're pretty happy. Just one other thing, I just big up Man United, because I don't like doing it, but I'll do it tonight. In terms of tests, like if you look at our fixtures, like where is the test? Leicester on the last day of the season, probably. And the other thing I would consider when you're thinking about him is first half of the season, no Bruno, Pereira, we had no Pogba either for a lot of it. And we had like Andreas Pereira. I think Jesse Lingard got a couple of games. It's just completely different now. Pogba and Fernandes in there. I think that is basically what's making a difference against these kind of teams. You're right about Sheffield United. They are probably one of the teams that's come back like the worst. Like if against Villa, it was really Dean Henderson that kept them in it. But yeah, I think Fixture. I mean, Brighton's up next. That'll be a bit of a test because they've come back and done really well.
They started well, haven't they?
Yeah.
Really well.
So that's now a game where, like right now, I've got my kind of bus team captain on Fernandes for next week. But I really don't know where to put it, to be honest. But that could be a bit of a test. But really, the fixtures are so good. I think one or two at least from Man United.
You know you're listening to FPL punditry royalty when your bus captain is already set for next week.
That's the first thing I do on a Saturday once the game
Right?
You're listening to Andy, and you're also listening to Toby Margette and Lee from FPL Family and myself, Gianni Batici. Thank you all for joining us on the Scoutcast match day. I feel like this is where I put in sponsored by, you know, the little sponsor, maybe one day. So we're going to be with you next Wednesday as well. So do come back and tune in. We're also looking ahead to next season where we'll be covering the 3 p.m. games. So when there's multiple games on, you can listen and hopefully watch us whilst watching the games, of course. We're going to go.
Book, Gianni.
Of course, we've got to have a little plug for the book. So Toby Margette is author of Fantasy Premier League, Unlocking the Secrets to the Top 1% Finish. Myself and Toby wrote the book. Google it, you'll find it. Follow us on Twitter, you'll find it. And of course, catch the FPL Family live streams on Sundays. And Andy, if there's any plugs for you, please go ahead.
United players.
Yeah, I'm sure people have heard enough from me. Yeah, if you're not already transferring Man United players right now, why aren't you doing it? Come on.
If we haven't tripled up on United attacking assets, then there is an argument to say that you could double up on the expensive assets like a Bruno, Rashford, Martial. That third player could be a £4.3 million forward that is starting games now. We've seen tonight Greenwood has started over James. With United playing really well, I wonder if Greenwood will get the nod over James. If so, at 4.3, that is a brilliant enabler that's going to be in a team scoring lots of goals, that's going to be potentially getting minutes. Andy, do you reckon we could see Greenwood take James's place? I mean, looks like Ollie's got his favoured system now, so seems like it's a case of one or the other.
Yeah, I think when you're not worrying about how good the opposition is, this is probably our best team right now. It's a bit harsh on Fred and McTominay because they've also played really well this year, but once you've got Pogba and Fernandes in there, it's hard to fit in another kind of central midfielder. Like I said earlier, Daniel James, I feel a bit harsh for him because he's come in. He should really have just been a squad player, kind of bedded in. Over time, and it just hasn't happened. He's been put in straight away because we've had to. He's all this talk about Sancho, which obviously everyone would love, which means he's straight back to being like the squad player he probably should be. I don't think he's good enough to be playing week in, week out. Obviously, Greenwood's still young. There's obviously a lot of hype around him. We haven't seen a huge amount yet, but Igalo nearly scoring here. He's gone round, well, not round the keeper, but he's still got the ball past him. He's shot. He should have played it across. It's just got out for a corner. But yeah, I could see Greenwood. The one thing for me would be, if you're genuinely looking to triple up, I think Greenwood's a waste of a spot because you can't guarantee yet that he's going to start. But if you're happy with a double up, then why not? Like, there's not really any nailed on attackers for that kind of price. And Nketiah is another option, of course. But yeah, I think a lot of. Let's see what happens in the FA Cup. If James and all that play and all that front five that just got sub get rested, or a lot of them do, then yeah, it could be an option maybe.
Guys, we're into the last 5-10 minutes of all of these games. So we'll quickly go around the ground. Starting at United, we've had the update there. 3-0 Man United against Sheffield United. In my game, Newcastle 1, Aston Villa 1. Villa with an equaliser there from El Mohamdi from a corner. Really couldn't see that coming. Andy Carroll's come on for Newcastle and they look really bright. They're unlucky to be behind, to be drawing. We'll go to you next, Lee. What's an update from Molineux?
Yeah, the game's getting stretched, to be honest with you, Gianni. So Bournemouth are trying their best to attack, and every time they do that, leaving space in behind. And the likes of Neves and obviously Jimenez are picking the ball up in nice areas, but really doing anything with it when they get into that final third. Wolves about to make a double substitution. Looks like Gibbs White is one of the guys that's coming on. I will let you know who the other guys are that are coming on and going off. But I think Wolves are happy. They're just happy to retain the ball. They just want to see the game out. A couple of niggly fouls in and around the box. There's a booking for Moutinho about 5 minutes ago. I can't see Bournemouth getting anything out of it, he says, touching wood, with a double Wolves defence. But in actual fact, double substitution. Yeah, Gibbs White and let's see. Can't see who else is coming on. I'll let you know who it is. But yeah, Wolves seeing out time effectively.
So it's still, Wolves are still 1-0 up against Bournemouth, and Tobes, it's Norwich 0, Everton 1. How they're looking?
Yeah, it is. So not much time to go here. We're just coming into the 4th minute of 6 of added on time. Norwich were actually giving it a pretty good go, to be fair, towards the end there, really kind of trying to turn the screw on Everton, but that then led to a breakaway. Actually, Moise Keane ran pretty much the length of the pitch and got brought down by Cantwell right pretty much on the line of the penalty box. It looked like it could have been a penalty, but it wasn't. It was a free kick just on the edge. Digne then fired that over. But yeah, it's been not a great display by Norwich. They look like a team that's going down.
Gianni, those substitutions at Molineux, sorry to interrupt you. One was Jimenez. So Jimenez off on the 89th minute. His work is done for the day. 8-pointer banked for his captaincy and his FPL owners. So Jimenez and Moutinho off. Morgan Gibbs-White, and it was Podence who's coming on as well. So 90 minutes nearly up. About 3 to go. We're into the first minute of injury time.
Yeah, we're in 91 here at St James's as well with 4 minutes remaining. So in terms of attacking returns, in the Wolves fixture, it was Traore with the assist, Jimenez with the goal. In the Everton fixture, it was Digne with the assist from a corner, Michael Keane with the header. With Newcastle, it was Andy Carroll. Yeah, you've heard me right. Andy Carroll with the assist, and Dwight Gale with the goal. Blast from the past there with those two. And then at United, we've seen
Donker from downtown. It's Ramsdale's coming. So out of nowhere, Ramsdale's come flying out of his goal to sort of head it away. He's outside the penalty area. It's landed at the feet of Dendoncker. He's tried the cheeky Wayne Rooney from halfway, and it's just sailed wide. But Ramsdale, a lucky boy there, I think.
And share the points there at Old Trafford as well. We've obviously had a Martial hat-trick. Am I right in thinking Rashford got 2 of the assists?
Yeah, he did. I was just going to say, actually, I think it's easy after a game like this to suddenly pile on Martial. But, I mean, Rashford's going to get a bonus point, so he's going to finish on 9. And he did have 2 really good chances in the first half to score as well. So on another day, all I guess I'm saying is I don't think Martial is obviously a great option, like I said at the start, but I don't think Rashford owners should be too concerned just yet. But yeah, Rashford 2 assists, Wan-Bissaka with the other one. Obviously, Martial scored all the goals, going to get all the bonus points. Wan-Bissaka 2 and Rashford 1. It doesn't look like that's going to change, to be honest, unless there's another goal here.
What I like about Rashford over Martial is I find it easier to fill spaces up front. In midfield, there's so much competition. For example, you might have a set and forget on a Liverpool, Mane or Salah with a KDB and a Bruno, and you might want a Son or a Traore. There isn't a huge amount of space. Given the choice, you're allowed 1 and 1 only. I'm going to come to all 3 of you on this because it's going to be a big talking point next week. You can have Bruno or Martial, but only one of them. Andy, you first. Who'd you go with?
Yeah, I think it has to be Bruno for now still. Like, Man United get so many penalties. He should be on them. He was so creative. I mean, Martial's a great option. I like I said, I would double up if you can. But I would probably still just about pick Bruno. One thing for Martial, and it's actually the same reason I would have picked Mane over Salah.
Oh, sorry, guys. Sorry. Ramsdale's taking a free kick from halfway. Bournemouth, 10 men in the Wolves box. They're lumping it forward. They're going for the jugular. The ball the free kick's floated in. It sort of just flops around the penalty area. You want to see a Wolves player. I've got double Wolves defence. I do not want this clean sheet going. Bolly just sort of boots it into the stand. The throw-in's coming in now from Bournemouth. Patricio, you better catch that. Yes, Patricio catches it, throws his cap on it, lies down on the floor for about 10 seconds. Going to see the game out, hopefully. Looking like a Wolves clean sheet here.
Full time at Carrow Road as well.
Full time at Carrow Road was that, Tobes?
Yeah, 1-0 Everton. Not the greatest game ever. A couple of good returns, as I said earlier, from Digne and Michael Keane in particular. Can't imagine too many are on Keane. But actually, Digne could be one for the watch list. Pretty good differential. Clean sheet today, assist. He looked pretty threatening from set pieces, as did Everton all day. Really good corner delivery. Couple of free kicks from the edge of the box. Maybe one to watch.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of good clean sheets from a lot of FPL players that many of us have got. You know, United defenders, Everton defenders, loads have got Holgate. Richie's got a clean sheet tonight because he went off after 60 minutes despite Newcastle.
Oh, he's in. Neto's in. 1-on-1 with a keeper. Got to be 2-0 Wolves. He's put it past the post. It's easier to score.
Who would the assist have been? I guess
most of the assists.
They're all off anyway. The good ones.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been anybody of any note, I don't think. But yeah, No, not Doherty. He's got to score 1-on-1 with the keeper. Ake's nowhere near him. Ramsdale does well, to be fair, to cut the angle, but Neto puts it wide. Should have scored. Should have been 2-0. And there's the full-time whistle. 1-0 Wolves. clean sheet bank. That's 2 games, 2 wins, 2 clean sheets for Wolves. What is not to like from them, from an FPL perspective? Get on them.
Do you know what's really funny about that Wolves clean sheet? Like I'm sure some people were saying Bolly, but a lot of the talk's been Doherty. Slice is a bit cheaper, and Bolly's the one coming away with 2 bonus points. I think it's going to be him and Gianni on 2, and Jimenez on 3. So no one else is going to get any. So after all that, Bolly was the one to own tonight.
In terms of bonus points, it's a great shout, Andy. Before we leave you guys, and we've only got a couple of minutes left, we want you to have enough prep before the big one at Liverpool at Anfield. Let's do a little bonus points update. We've heard from Wolves Bournemouth. I'll go now to my game, Newcastle Villa, where the whistle has just gone. Currently, remember this, the bonus points now are subject to change. They often change that sort of 15 minutes later. They'll be confirmed. Follow FPL on Twitter. But currently, as it stands, Gale, the goal scorer, is on 3 bonus points. And guess who's on 2 bonus points, despite going off on the 63rd minute?
No, Matty Ritchie.
My boy Richie with his 3 or 4 shots on target in the first half alone. Let's hope that stays. He's currently on 23, Gale on 27, Shelby on 17, joint with Conza on 17. Because Newcastle conceded the goal, that was really good for Richie's BPS because, of course, he didn't concede the goal. So that's really interesting, actually. I wasn't sure if he would... Obviously, I knew he was getting clean sheet points, but he also... He jumps up in the BPS because he didn't concede. Toby, let's go to Carrow Road for your BPS update on Norwich 0, Everton 1.
Yeah, sure. Same as earlier, Michael Keane is going to take all 3 most likely with his goal and with his clean sheet, of course. Digne closely behind him, 39 in the bonus point system. Michael Keane was 43. Digne with that assist, and generally a pretty good all-round game, to be fair, from him. Clean sheet, of course, as well. And it's going to be Mason Holgate with 1 by the looks of it.
Okay, and Andy at Old Trafford?
Yeah, kind of to be expected, really. Martial's going to run away with all 3 by a mile. Wan-Bissaka, their clean sheet and an assist. That's going to be what? 2 bonuses, so 8-pointer for him. Have I got that right? No, I've got that wrong. I know. It's going to be 11-pointer, isn't it?
Yeah, with an assist as well. Yeah, double digit.
Yeah, so 11 points. So really nice if you went for him over Maguire. And then it's Rashford on 30 or 1 bonus point with the 2 assists. So still a really nice return, like I said. So Fernandes missing out. And if you went Maguire like me, kind of 5 points down on Wan-Bissaka, unfortunately.
Thank you all for watching tonight, guys. We've had some really great comments. And please do let Fantasy Football Scout know with your comments what you think to the show. We will be back, and follow Fantasy Football Scout on Twitter for the latest on when we'll be hosting these shows. But next Wednesday, we'll be in. We've had viewers from all over the world tonight, guys. Some comments from Saudi Arabia, from South Africa, from Serbia, from Malaysia. FPL is a global phenomenon, and we are very pleased to be here serving you. I've been joined by Toby Margetts from FPL Diary, Lee Bonifield from FPL Family, and Andy from Let's Talk FPL as well. I'm Gianni Battici. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next week.
Cheers all.
Cheers
guys.